Hey everyone, welcome to Average Joe Preparedness. My name's Rick, and I'm an Average Joe. If you're new here, this is a preparedness channel for average people. Yes? And if you don't know what this video is about, go back. Hopefully I'll put a thing. There was a challenge I put out. I was going to put 25 bucks together. If somebody had some ideas of something that cost less than 25 bucks that they weren't sure of, they wanted to test it out, they want to know if it was worth the money, and I'm just use stuff because of the background I have. Long story. So I got a few things. I picked them. I picked two things. I'm already doing a video. It should be out by the time this comes. Put it right there on the life straw. And I chose that because of what's going on in Florida. And hopefully people aren't just forgetting because it goes by so fast. It's still going on in Florida. They're still suffering. And then I picked a second item, and together they came to $25. Yes, this is the video starting description of the second item. Now for each of these items, the reason I picked them, basically what was going on in Florida. So the second item I picked, don't turn your back on the camera, Rick, is this. It is a crank-powered flashlight clip spray. But the most important part is, if you notice, it's from the American Red Cross. Now, they don't make these, they contract them out. And if you go to their website, they've got a lot of things from first aid kits to blah, 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 blah. Now, my concern, if we're going to call it a concern, and I'm not saying anything bad about the Red Cross. As a matter of fact, public service announcement, if you feel like helping the people in Florida and other parts of the United States, the Red Cross, don't get fooled by scams. Donate to people that you know so you know your money's going to the right place. Okay? So, Red Cross, there's the commercial. I just plugged them. So my concern is, you would think that if you go to the Red Cross's website and they have things for sale, I'm going under the premise the Red Cross is only going to have reliable things. Now, I understand they go through contractors, and I would think that they would take the best contractor and get the best price, because I'm guessing the contractors would get like tax breaks, and they'd get free advertisements, you know, for doing it for the Red Cross, and the Red Cross puts their name on it and then gets it out there to people, because people are probably going to go there for preparedness things. You know, it's a good place to start would be, you would think, would be the Red Cross. So my hope, my wish, is that this works, boom, as it says. It's durable. It wasn't that expensive. I think this was, the last one was, it was like 12 or 13 bucks, because the total of the two came to $25. So we're going to go over this real fast, and then I'm going to explain how I'm going to test it, and then I'll make a test video. Yes? Now this paperwork I printed up, this is off the American Red Cross site. So I'm going to read it as fast as I can, and so it's not too boring, but this is what it's supposed to be according to the Red Cross. It says, this crank-powered clip-on flashlight and smartphone charger is a compact but mighty tool that will help make sure you always have light and power in an emergency situation with no batteries required. Simply turn the crank for 1 minute to get 10 minutes of use from the 3 powerful LED lights within. You can also connect your smartphone or small electrical device to the clip spray via the USB cord and charge them in an emergency. The attached carabiner clip makes it easy to carry on your belt or backpack. Its portable size makes the clip ray ideal for any kind of outdoor adventure, while it potentially life-saving utility make it a must for any emergency preparedness kit. Made for the American Cross by Eton, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, a company that has specialized in battery-less emergency supplies for over 40 years. Now, I hope you don't mind, but after I read that, I expected a lot. Apparently, the company's been doing this for a really long time. It's, I guess, endorsed, if you want to call it that, by the American Red Cross. They sell it on their website. So, I am hopeful that this test is successful. I'm saying that up front for full disclosure. However, if it is not, you will see, because it's going to fail in front of you guys. Kind of. I'm going to show it to you. Yes. So we'll see what happens. Now, I looked at the reviews on it, and some of them weren't so good. Like, it says you can't really charge a phone. I'm going to try it, and we'll see what happens. But, and then there was some, like, manufacturer issues, and I don't know, guys. So I'm hopeful that this is a good thing. You notice it said you could use it for everyday stuff, but it's a must-have for an emergency kit by the American Red Cross. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and then we'll go over how I'm going to test it. So that way you know exactly if it succeeds, what it can handle, and if it doesn't, then what I did to it to make that happen. Yes? Yes. Okay, let me open it up. I'll get right back to you. All right, so let's take a look at it. The first thing that hits me is, like most things in life nowadays, I'm just saying, is this is plastic. And I mean plastic. So the carabiner clip is plastic too. Let's see if you guys can see that right there. This is what they mean by carabiner. I guess I'm going to hook this handle. Like I said, we'll go over how I'm going to test it. But there's the carabiner clip. There's your power button right there. And, oh, it's already charged. Turning that off. This is where you can do electronic devices and smartphone. It has both kind, old school, new school for charging. And it has the handle, again, all plastic. Now I have, oh, and look, you can see it's charging. All right, now I have other things like this. I have the radios, the larger ones with the emergency radios. I've talked to you guys about it before. I've never had one exactly like this. Yes? Yes. Now let me make sure I'm perfectly clear. This thing was only, like I said, 13 bucks. Okay? I mean, you could get a couple of them, and it's not that expensive. But this is how I'm going to test it. I don't know about you guys, but I am up before the sun, and obviously most people don't go to bed before the sun sets. So I'm going to use this every morning, and I'm going to use it every evening. And then I'm going to clip this on my belt loop, and basically carry it throughout the day. And then I may change and throw it like in a cargo pocket if I have it, or in my front pocket, back pocket. I'm not going to be... I'm going to use this, I'm going to treat it as if I'm in an emergency. When you're in an emergency, you tend not to focus on, no offense intended, little things. You're focused on the big picture, and what you hope are the little things take care of themselves. And that's about preparedness, is making sure you have all the little stuff that add up to something big taken care of so you don't have to think about it. Yes? Yes. Okay, and just to finish this off, let's make sure we're clear why I chose this. Because of the hurricanes in Florida. No electricity. I heard from a family member today, I believe, earlier today, they're not expected to get power back for another week. And it's already been a while since the hurricane went through. So, yeah. I talked to another family member. I have a family member who's in law enforcement down there. And I don't know if you saw in the news, they've kind of moved away from rescue operations to recovery operations. If you don't know what that means, look it up, because it's not something I want to discuss too much. The point being is, the operations run long periods of time in the dark. This is potentially something that someone wants to have. I think having a flashlight is a good idea. But I'm going to test this out where it's talking about you crank it for so long, it'll last for so long. That's another thing, because I can't spend all day just cranking a flashlight. Yes? Yes. And then when it comes to charging a phone, I understand phones are good things for communication. I almost think it's like an add-on. In the past, it would have been. But in today's world, it is a good possibility that a telephone, a simple cell phone, or I guess if you have a small computer to try to get a hold of somebody, but let's go with cell phones, can be an emergency device. It can help you by contacting people. And having something that'll charge it, that's a good thing. So we're going to find out. And I am hopeful, because of where you get this from and who's sponsoring it. Hopefully you guys can see that. That's kind of a big name in the preparedness community. Yes? Yes. All right. Well, again, the testing will go in about, I'm going to do it for 7 days. Because people would use this like all day long, all night long in an emergency. I'm not an emergency, so I'm going to be using it in the morning, in the evening, carrying it around all day. It'll get bumped. We're going to see what happens. Yes? And I'll get back with you, and wish me luck. Okay, and with that, I hope this finds you well. I hope you are positive. I hope you are happy. And I hope you are prepared.